What's good, Polly? Gang, 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 gang. It's your boy, KeeSeeY. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm doing another Elvis Presley video reaction. I about messed it up, guys. But this video is Quincy Jones makes a bold claim about Elvis Presley that has people talking. I wonder what this could be. I'm not entirely sure who Quincy Jones is. I heard his name before, but I'm assuming that he was an artist back in the day because I seen the picture of him and he looked very old in the picture. So I'm assuming he was a big artist back in the 50s, maybe 60s. But yeah, let's just jump into the video. I wonder what he has to say. It's my first time reacting to this video, so hopefully it's something good.
Presley is quite possibly the most influential musician of his generation. Sure, his career had a few low points, such as his utterly forgettable film work, and his final years were marked by drug addiction and poor health. The so-called king of rock and roll's music, however, speaks for itself and largely stands the test of time. Presley was far from perfect, and his character flaws are as much a part of the man's narrative as his music.
Oh, so these are the movies.
He had a famously short temper and once went to the White House to volunteer to help President Richard Nixon with the nascent war on drugs in some unspecified way, despite being a user himself, claiming in a bizarre letter to Nixon that he had undertaken a, quote, in-depth study of drug abuse and communist brainwashing techniques. Fast forward to May 2021, when legendary musician and producer Quincy Jones accused the king of another character flaw and a familiar.
Okay, so Quincy Jones was, he just said a musician and a producer. Okay.
Familiar one, racism. Specifically, Jones claimed that he and another musician refused to work with Elvis because of that racism. When the Hollywood Reporter asked the 88-year-old Jones if he had ever worked with Elvis, Jones said, quote, "No, I wouldn't work with him." When asked why, Jones explained, "I was writing for Tommy Dorsey, oh God, back then in the 50s, and Elvis came in and Tommy said, I don't want to play with him. He was a racist mother. I'm gonna shut up now. But every time I saw Elvis, he was being coached by Otis Blackwell telling him how to sing." So is there any truth to Jones's claim?
Yeah.
That's impossible to answer as the alleged event happened 70 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know if this is true at all. Because I mean, from what I heard, Elvis had black friends. He grew up with his best friend in his childhood was a black guy. He hung around with black people. I don't know how true this is. He did a lot of things for black people back in the day. And I think this guy may have misquoted him. I think he had said that he didn't want to work with Elvis because of the guy who Elvis was with. It wasn't because of Elvis himself. I'm pretty sure that's what he said. Let me just.
Why? Jones explained, "I was writing for Tommy Dorsey,
yeah.
oh God.
Tommy Dorsey, okay.
Back then in the 50s, and Elvis came in and Tommy said, I don't want to play with him.
So he said, I was writing with Tommy Dorsey, and Elvis came in, and then Tommy Dorsey said, I don't want to play with him. That's the reason why?
He was a racist mother. I'm going to shut up now. But every time I saw Elvis, he was being coached by Otis Blackwell telling him how to sing. So is there any truth to Jones's claim? That's impossible to answer as the alleged event happened 70 years ago, and 2 of the 3 people who were in the room that day have been gone for decades. As for Jones's claim about Otis Blackwell coaching Elvis, Blackwell, who wrote Presley's hit song Don't Be Cruel, told David Letterman during an interview in 1984 that he never even met Elvis, so Jones may be somewhat mistaken.
Okay.
Now, did you ever meet Elvis Presley?
No, I never met Elvis.
Blackwell did, however, confirm to Letterman that Elvis openly imitated his singing style on Don't Be Cruel, so Jones was right about that part. According to David Pilgrim, curator of Ferris University's Jim Crow Museum, there's just no hard evidence out there that Presley was a racist, despite persistent decades-long rumors to the contrary. Pilgrim notes that Presley donated money to black causes, attended predominantly black churches during his youth in Tupelo, Mississippi, and consistently treated the black people he encountered with respect. On the other hand, Quincy Jones is far from the first person to accuse Elvis Presley of racism. Rap legend's Public Enemy called Presley straight-up racist in their 1989.
But I mean, let's just be honest. Public Enemy came out in 1989. Elvis Presley died in 1977, and Public Enemy were like little babies by the time Elvis was. He wouldn't even have known them. They didn't even become famous in 1980 something. They were just saying stuff. So I guess he's reaching at this point with the other people because they didn't know nothing. They were just saying stuff back in those days. Public Enemy was just saying stuff.
Song Fight the Power. In 2002, Mary J. Blige performed Presley's Blue Suede Shoes on VH1's Divas Live special. Some criticized her for singing an Elvis song during her set, and she told the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, "I prayed about it because I know Elvis was a racist, but that was just the song VH1 asked me to sing. It meant nothing to me."
But that's the thing, like, these people didn't know him personally. They were just saying that. they didn't actually research back into like his work, his studies and stuff like that. I don't know if that holds up, to be honest with y'all. I don't view him as that. Has he ever said maybe a slang or the target word or something like that? I mean, you never know, but I don't think he was ever racist. I don't view him as that.
To me, I didn't wear an Elvis flag. I didn't represent Elvis that day. While Elvis is no longer around to face these accusations, we can turn to sources that date back to his era. For example, a reporter questioned Presley in 1957 about whether or not he'd said a particular racist slur, and he denied it, telling a reporter, "I never said anything like that, and people who know me know I wouldn't have said it." Regardless of whether or not Elvis Presley actually used racist slurs or made racist comments, he certainly got rich working as a white performer co-opting African-American music. After all, his hit song Hound Dog, for example, released in 1956, is so closely associated with Presley that many probably assume it's an Elvis original. However, Big Mama Thornton first recorded the song in 1952. It was a smash on the R&B chart, staying in the #1 position for 7 weeks. But Presley's version topped the Billboard pop charts 4 times in 1956, sold more than 10 million copies, and is one of the best-selling singles of all time. David Pilgrim thinks backlash from this cultural appropriation likely has something to do with the persistent rumors about Presley being a racist. He wrote in 2006, "While talented black entertainers labored in smaller venues, sometimes in relative obscurity, Presley became a wealthy and famous international star."
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I think that, especially like the newer people, like the people in the 80s and 90s, they didn't really know much about him, and pretty much all they seen was that, okay, I guess they assumed that some of the songs that he made, maybe he had copied from black people, but I also feel like some of the other songs, his other music, I don't know if he really copied from anyone. I feel like most of his stuff was original. Maybe a few of the songs, maybe like Hound Dog, I guess you could say. I haven't listened to the other woman's version. I'll be interested in reacting to that, because I don't even know who she is. And apparently she made that song in 1952. I have reacted to Hound Dog, but it did get copyrighted, so whenever that copyright claim gets released, which will be about 28 to 30 days, I'll for sure release that. But
so some blacks resent his success and him, and this made a story about him using a racist remark believable. Check out one of our newest videos right here.
Alright, so I don't know how reliable this channel is with what they're saying, if Quincy Jones actually said that. And did Mary J. Blige actually say that? Did Public Enemy say that? I know I did see some stuff about some people, some celebrities accusing Elvis of being a racist, but the 2 out of the 3 weren't even around in that era and were little kids, probably weren't even born when Elvis was alive. Let's just put it that way. They were just like little kids. They were probably like 2 or 3 years old. So they couldn't even meet Elvis. They didn't know who Elvis was. And then Quincy Jones, yes, he was like the only one that was around at the time. But at the same time, he never worked with him. He just said he didn't want to work with him because of what someone else had said. So, like I said, I don't believe any of those claims. There's not really any factual information behind it. The people that had met him said they loved him. So, there goes that. But, yeah, like I said, if you guys have made it in this video, please subscribe. Thank you for just watching my page. Thank you for supporting me. And it's your boy, KeeSeeY. And Polly, gay. We out.